Welcome, forest friends. It's time to enter the forest and see what we discover. Open your mind and wander with us for a bit. Welcome back, forest friends, to another quiet walk through the learning forest. So far, we've explored cognition, cognitive load, attention, cognitive weather, and the deep root structure of schema. Now, with this foundation in place, we arrive at one of the most fascinating aspects of human learning, a discovery that changed neuroscience and reshaped how we understand the social nature of thought. Today's episode is titled The Reflective Mind, Mirror Neurons, and the Social Forest of Learning. Let's begin with a moment of wonder. Humans do not learn alone. Even when we believe we are learning alone, we are not. The brain is wired, biologically, emotionally, and cognitively, to learn by watching others. And this is not metaphor. It is neurology. In the early 1990s, neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti and his colleagues at the University of Parma noticed something extraordinary while studying motor cortex activity in macaque monkeys. A monkey's motor neuron fired not only when it performed an action, but also when it watched a researcher perform that action. This led to the identification of mirror neurons, brain cells that activate both when we act and when we observe someone else act. Put simply, when you watch someone act, your brain simulates the action. And when you watch someone think, your brain simulates the thinking. This discovery explains why modeling is so powerful. It explains why students learn deeply from examples, how a teacher's emotional state influences the room, and why calm presence is contagious. Mirror neurons are the cognitive bridge between individuals. They make learning inherently social. Let's walk further into the forest. Mirror neurons help explain why infants imitate facial expressions, why students subconsciously match a teacher's engagement level, and why worked examples reduce cognitive load. They explain why collaborative learning accelerates understanding and why confusion can spread just as quickly as insight. Mirror neurons make thinking visible and transferable. They allow learners to temporarily borrow another person's reasoning until they can build their own schema. This ties directly into Episode 7. Schema grow through patterns, comparisons, and meaning-making. Mirror neurons accelerate that growth by helping the brain simulate the schema of the model, the teacher, the peer, the adult, the guide. When a teacher explains their thinking, highlights a pattern, clarifies a misconception, or connects yesterday's idea to today's, mirror neurons allow the learner to mentally rehearse that same cognitive pathway. It is not mimicry, it is cognitive alignment. Mirror neurons also shape attention. Attention is not only internal, it is socially cued. When a teacher is present, focused, regulated, and calm, students' attention systems mirror that regulation. When a teacher is scattered or overwhelmed, students feel the dissonance. The lantern of attention that we explored in Episode 5 swings according to the signals it receives. In this way, mirror neurons are the link between cognitive load, attention, and schema. When modeling is clear, load decreases. When load decreases, attention stabilizes. When attention stabilizes, schema grow. And when schema grow, learning accelerates. Let's bring in care ethics for a moment. Nell Noddings argued that learning begins with relational presence. Mirror neurons provide neurological evidence for this truth. When a student feels cared for, seen, and understood, their brain is more open to simulation, alignment, and internalization. Care is not separate from cognition. It is intertwined with it. The Designing for Thinking framework reflects this reality across its domains. In instructional design and clarity, modeling helps students enter the cognitive steps the teacher is using. In materials and representations, seeing an adult navigate visuals reduces interpretive load. In cognitive work, students observing peers reason strengthens everyone's thinking. In teacher responsiveness, Remodeling based on confusion recalibrates shared cognition. In student indicators, the room mirrors the engagement or overload of the moment. Mirror neurons are the mycelium of the learning forest, the hidden connections that help information and emotion travel between individuals. Now let's make this practical with a few mirror neuron aligned instructional moves. Model your thinking aloud. Use worked examples. Draw attention to patterns explicitly. Show multiple solution paths. Use gestures while explaining. Invite students to verbalize their reasoning. Encourage comparison of approaches. Highlight clarity in real time. Maintain a calm and grounded presence. Support students in structured peer explanation. These practices are not just good teaching. They are cognitive design. They support how the brain naturally learns through observation, simulation, and gradual internalization. Before we close, remember that mirror neurons remind us of an essential truth. Learning is not solitary, it is communal, relational, and interwoven. Learners do not simply hear us, they reflect us. They grow through us and with us, and soon you will meet the alder branch entities who support this social dimension of learning. Mira, who helps decode social cognition for learners with diverse needs. Nell, who nurtures the relational soil. Hadley, who strengthens clarity so mirror neurons have clean pathways to follow. Bowler, who shows how mathematical reasoning becomes visible. Trolley Talks, who bridges the learning forest between school and home. Meridian, who helps leaders understand that entire systems have social cognition. If you'd like to explore more tools, frameworks, or our growing ecosystem of companions, visit alderbranch.org and subscribe to stay connected. Thank you for walking with us today, forest friend. We'll see you on the next trail. Thanks for joining us on the Intellectual Hike, forest friends. Don't forget to visit us at www.alderbranch.org for more free resources and join our friends today. See you for another brain hiking adventure soon.